children, gather around. It's story time.
I'm so excited.
Shh. We're going to read from my favorite book, Bedtime Stories. And we're going to read about my favorite thing in the entire world. Relations and functions. Let me just find that story. Ah, here it is. Once upon a time... Oh, just let me get my glasses. Ah, much better. Once upon a time, there was a young girl named Madison. And Madison wasn't just any kind of girl. She was special.
Maddie, the math class nerd.
Maddie, the math class nerd.
Math, 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 math.
Maddie, the math class nerd.
Maddie, the math class nerd. Math rules. He was a polyhedron with 6 congruent faces. Mad, 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 mad. Maddie, the math class nerd.
Mad, 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 mad.
Maddie, the math class nerd. Are you feeling glum and dumb? Functions and relations leaving you in a slum. Have no fear, 'cause math is here. You're in the wonderful world of math. My friends and I will show you how to graph,
Solve equations.
And much, much more.
What is a relation? Well, it is any set of ordered pairs. That is, any x value that is related to a y value. Does that make sense?
But is there only one way to interpret a relation?
No, 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 silly. My goodness, you have much to learn. There are many ways to interpret graphs, but there are 6 main ways.
Graphs, words, equations, ordered pairs, table of values, and an arrow diagram!
Huh?
Well, that's all fine and good, but you know, those graphs, they confuse me.
That's okay. A graph is like a picture. It's worth 1,000 words. Let's take a look, shall we? Okay! See here, where the lines cross? That's called the origin. The coordinates are 0, 0. On this side, the x value is positive, and the y value is positive. And down over here, the x value is positive, and the y value is negative.
Well, that must mean the x value is negative and the y value is negative.
So that means that here, the x is negative and the y is positive.
Good job! Is there anything else you know about graphs?
Well, isn't there a thing called the line of best fit or something?
Good job! It shows the relationship between the plotted points.
Yes, and in an ordered pair, the x is the first coordinate and the y is the second coordinate.
Good. That leads me to my next point, domain and range. The domain is the set of all the x coordinates in the relation.
Does that mean that the range is full of all the y coordinates?
It does. Now let's talk about a couple more things with graphs. Discrete and continuous data.
Oh, I know that. Discrete data is when there is no direct relationship between ordered pairs in a relation.
So basically, a scatter plot.
Yep, and continuous data is when the ordered pairs on the graph are connected, because the information between the ordered pairs is relevant.
Wonderful! Why don't we look at some examples?
And now a word from our sponsors.
Math Power 10, Western Edition by McGraw-Hill Ryerson, bringing you everyday equations for everyday problems.
Now that you guys are experts with x and y values, let's talk about our next topic. Variation. There are 2 types of variation.
Direct variation.
And partial variation.
Direct variation is, whatever happens to the x value happens to the y value, and it only occurs through multiplication. The equation is y equals kx, and the k is the constant of the variation. For example,
If the equation y equals x is changed into y equals 2x, then the y value is doubled.
And the graph will always pass through the origin.
that's correct. Now, the next type is partial variation. This occurs through multiplication and addition. The equation is y equals mx plus b.
Functions.
Did someone say functions?
Isn't that when there's only one y value for x?
That is correct. Let's look at an example.
The equation for functions.
f of x equals the equation.
Great job, everybody. You've been doing an amazing job thus far, but before we're finished, we have a couple more things to say.
An independent variable is when the variable may be freely chosen. A dependent variable is a variable whose value is determined by another variable.
A linear function has a degree of 1. And a nonlinear function has a degree of anything more than 1.
Thank you for watching. Maddie, the math class nerd.